Okay, I'm live. That's great. Hi there. Welcome to ONI Live, ONI Life's first live session. My name's Alex, and it's pretty much just going to be an unscripted version of what this channel's about and what I've been up to, what I hope this channel will be doing in the future. And yeah, feel free to drop a message in the chat. I'd love to hear any opinions or anything you've got to say, positive or negative. I mean, it's a free world, so just say whatever you want. Yeah, so okay, let's kick things off. So let's talk about the history of this channel first. So ONI Life, I started this channel at the start of 2024, so about a year and a half ago, and I was planning on making weekly videos in both English and Japanese, with 3 short videos per main 5 to 10 minute video. And then I was able to keep going for about 7 months or 8 months or so until August 2024. And then I guess personal life got quite busy. I started new work and moved places, and just kind of meant that I had less time to put towards the ONI Life channel. And it's been a year since that. Now it's September 2025. I'm still working at the same job that I started last year, and it's sort of settled down a little bit. I feel like I've sort of figured my way around it well enough so that I've got a few extra hours throughout the week to hopefully put back towards ONI Life, which is more aligned with my sort of purpose and passion. Yeah, so what is ONI Life? So ONI Life is pretty much like a self-improvement channel, but I kind of want it to go from not just a channel, but like a community. So the reason why I want to start this sort of live session is so that I can have your feedback as I go through the process of making sort of online content, and hopefully we can make sort of better content thanks to multiple different perspectives. Yeah, so the type of content I was making, and I probably still will carry on making, is sort of self-improvement in I think 12 different fields, I believe. I should know off by heart, but let me just grab my notebook. 1 second. So it should be here, the topics. Yeah, so the first topic is the habits of ONI Life. Okay, I should be back. I don't know what this green bar is. Hopefully it's okay. Okay, yeah. Should be picking up what I'm saying. Okay, apologies for the delay. So here are the topics that I kind of wanted to cover throughout the first year, and then go deeper for maybe year 2, 3, and so on. So there are the actual actions that you could do to sort of improve your life, and they are meditation, journaling, affirmation, learning, and exercise. So those are the ONI habits. And then the second topic would be about happiness. So how we can experience more happiness throughout life, what true happiness is, and how to kind of feel deep happiness from even nothing. So yeah, I made the videos on the happiness topic. The next one is about addictions, because there's a lot of distractions out there in the world, and most of us have at least a couple of different addictions, sort of deciding how we sort of decide to live our lives. So yeah, addictions I feel is a really big topic. I was actually planning on maybe talking about addictions for all of next year, because there's so many different addictions being made nowadays, and with the sort of advancement of AI, it's really only going to accelerate like entertainment. That's really doesn't do much for our own sort of well-being as well as humanity in general. So yeah, addictions. I feel like that's a topic I could sort of ramble on for at least several hundred hours on YouTube. Okay, and then the next topic is the fourth one is emotions. I feel like sort of a looked over topic, and it's kind of seen as pseudoscience in a way. As I mean, we all sort of feel emotions. We sort of observe it in behaviors of other humans and animals as well. However, it's not something that we can sort of visually see with our eyes. It's hard to sort of grasp, but I think a better understanding of your own emotions and emotions of others is going to help you sort of better navigate your life and achieve the goals that you actually aim to do. Okay, and the one after that is talking about is ego. So pretty much how the mind works and how to sort of better take control of it. So kind of links in with emotions as well, but that's just like one part of the ego. Also your thought process and sort of your web of beliefs, which is pretty much the sum of all your experiences throughout your life and how you can sort of mold it going into the future. So yeah, another sort of deep topic there, followed up by sort of productivity. So I made a video on flow state and mastery, and the Atomic Habits by James Clear. So I think the English videos is kind of where I got to within the first sort of 7-8 months, and then I was hoping to sort of go beyond that last year, but sort of kind of stopped here. And then the other topics I want to talk about is communication, because human beings, if we can't communicate, we can't collaborate, and we can't really achieve anything great or big in this world. Well, that's kind of the way I see it. So it's quite an important topic, and I want to talk about like verbal communication, so the words that we decide to use, as well as non-verbal communication, so our gestures, our body posture, and I guess how to deal with sort of toxic people, as well as how to sort of show more humor in your communication. And then followed up by relationships. Maybe I'll be doing relationships first and then communications afterwards. So relationships is more about the difference between masculinity and femininity in a yang, and how to sort of maximize attraction. Okay, and that's followed up by confidence and confident speaking. So how to be a leader rather than just a follower, and how to like fully express what's going on inside your mind and what you're really feeling. All right, I think that's like topic 8 or so. And then the next one will be, it's more like science-based, so science and nature. So talking about evolution of humans, the different ape communities, and how they're similar or different from us. Biomimicry that we see in sort of creativity all across the world, really. And also so pretty much that's it. Yeah, nature and evolution. I've got 3 episodes planned for that. And then that's followed up by psychological models like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, spirodynamics, 9 stages of ego development, and the 7 chakras. So kind of mixing all sort of different model psychology and a bit of spirituality, just trying to better understand the development of the human psyche. And then next, it's going to be about spirituality and religion. So how we sort of learn from sort of the large sort of religious groups and the teachings that they have, as well as how it's sort of interlinked with spirituality and how we could grow our own sort of spirituality connection to oneness or universe, however you decide to sort of phrase it. And yeah, I feel like this one's going to be a little bit on the controversial side if you're more into the sort of logical way of seeing things and only want to get like physical results. But I feel like this is like one big sector of our sort of life as a human being, and it's something that we all have the potential to tap into. So it's an area which I don't really want to forego. And then lastly, to put it all together, throughout the year, I was planning on, I think I did like 3 episodes already, but like it's going to be 6 sort of human resources that I want to sort of touch upon. So they are time, energy, willpower, skills, trust, money, and how they sort of interlinked with each other. And they call the human resources. So your sort of goal in life, or possibly one perspective of goal in life, is trying to maximize these human resources so that you sort of have more control of the direction of your life and hopefully cause more sort of beneficial sort of impact in this world, rather than just like being sort of mindless and just going along with the crowd. Yeah, so this is pretty much what I had planned for the first year. Hopefully I can do the second part of this going forward. I haven't set a specific date as to when I'll next upload, but I'll try my best to get the train rolling again. Yeah, I want to try and build up a bit of stock of. Oh, I still haven't like edited any of the future videos yet, so I think that's going to be my next step. Just sort of buckling down, just editing it all out, and sort of putting it out there into the world. What else? Yes, I'm planning starting I've actually already started a school community. So that's the SKOOL, sort of Alex Solmosi and quite a few other sort of famous YouTubers and other people have already sort of started participating in it. So what it is, it's like you can either make like a free version or a paid version of a community, and you sort of like, I guess, forums, so talk to each other, chat with each other, share your sort of courses on there, and trying to see that community grow. Yeah, because I don't really want ONI Life just to be me talking to a camera the whole time, and then maybe a few people on the other side listening and, I don't know, taking notes, learning, or just kind of having it on in the background. I feel like that's not really going to have all that much impact in this world. So hopefully I can actually make this into something a little bit more sort of group, sort of, well, I guess more community based. So, it's going to be more give and take. I really like to hear other people's opinions. I don't want to be like too narrow minded with just like one specific sort of way of thinking. Yeah, I mean, you gotta like mix and match, trial and error, see what works, see what doesn't work. But you gotta be able to take a step forward in multiple directions and then step back when you need to. That's kind of how I see life, and yeah, I feel like that's how it's gonna sort of best help everyone. All right, so yeah, that's the plan for ONI Life. I guess going into the details a little bit more. I mean, after doing it for about 7-8 months, I can see like the quality of my videos did go up gradually throughout the episodes. I feel like maybe my strong point is the script, because I do sort of think about it, write it all out, have it checked, and it's usually scientifically very sound. And I, only use data that is like actually published in like official sort of like scientific journals and stuff. But it's sort of lacking that sort of human sort of emotional punch that sort of gets the viewer sort of really invested. So I feel like how I present it could do with a lot of work, and I feel that just requires a lot of reps, really. Just same as working out, just gotta keep going through the process and then kind of practice before I speak in front of the camera at least like 3, possibly 5, 10 times. I don't know, just to spend maybe a whole day just sort of absolutely sort of nailing the topic and the content into the back of my head, so that even without a script, I could almost just sort of remember exactly what I need to say. Yeah, that's going to require a lot of time and effort. So hopefully it'll become easier as time goes by. My other weaknesses, I feel like the thumbnails. It's just since I use like an AI picture for ONI, sort of doing something with some black and white writing, it doesn't really sort of make people want to click on it. So I feel like I might need to change course there and sort of use my own face. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it like when I release the next video, or I might just sort of wait until I finish this sort of series or finish this topic and then sort of change directions, because it's got to be more personable. I want it to be something that people can relate to. Yeah, because ONI Life's like, most people maybe they've heard what an ONI is, but they don't really understand it. Like they've seen an anime or something, like One Piece or Demon Slayer or something. But it's the ONI I sort of envision. It's kind of more just like sort of pushing humanity to the next evolutionary stage, where you sort of have your inner demons, and then you've got the great ONI, as I mentioned in one of the videos before, and you got your less ONI, and then it's all about the great ONI being part of your prefrontal cortex. That's the human side, and then your less ONI is like your sort of animalistic, sort of highly emotional, sort of agitated, sort of chimp mind, and it's all about how the great ONI sort of wins that fight against the less ONI. And once you do start winning, you should be able to see your life sort of progress in actionable steps towards the goals that you're sort of trying to achieve. So that's kind of what I want everyone here to be sort of accomplishing throughout this sort of life. Yeah, and sort of like pushing humanity sort of potential to that sort of next level. So this is going to be like in the 5 areas of life, which I've made a video on. So your physical body, your mindset, your spirituality, your relationships, and also your sort of financial money kind of situation. So it's all about growing in those 2 areas. And in order to do that, you need to be aware of your 6 human resources and sort of allow that to grow as well. Yeah. Focus on output over input, really. That's pretty much it. What else can I talk about? I guess my own personal life. So a bit of a background about myself is I am British Japanese, so born and raised over in England, and I moved over to Japan at the age of 5 and lived out here for 3 years. Then went back to the UK. So from age 8 until I graduated from university, I was living over in the UK. Growing up, I guess I was quite into sports, So played rugby for about 10 years, enjoyed rock climbing, was part of the hiking society at university. I guess I enjoy drawing and more sort of mathematically inclined rather than in the arts, except for when it comes to drawing. So yeah, I suck at like music, dance, anything that's that sort of side, but always enjoyed sort of being creative with a pencil. And then after university, came over to Japan, where I was an English teacher. And there's a lot of sort of, I guess, foreign race people usually do end up becoming when they first come to Japan. It's like the easiest sort of work that you can get. So yeah, I was an English teacher in the countryside of Japan for 3 years. Lovely sort of people, lovely countryside, but got a little bit too, I wouldn't say lonely, but I guess isolated. I feel like I was sort of very disconnected from a lot of people in the world. So yeah, I was in a small village of about 3,000 people, like an hour and a half from the sort of main city of that prefecture. So after that, popped on a plane. Actually, went back to the UK, got my personal trainer license because fitness was sort of what I sort of carried on doing for my free time. So I was like, okay, once I've turned this into a job, got my license, came to Japan, and then started becoming a sort of group instructor in the company. Sort of worked my way through, became like a store manager and a trainer. So yeah, always been going to the gym probably since I went to university, so like 18, 19. It's been almost 50, well, it's been 15 years, it's exact right now. So taking care of my body and health has always been sort of quite high on my priorities. And then after that, I guess COVID happened, so 5 years ago now, and I was trying to start like a YouTube fitness channel with my younger brother. However, just too short on resource really. Just yeah, money just drained too quickly that I just had to stop and try and find like actual paid work. So taught a bit of English, started my sort of personal training business, got a few clients, found stability there up to a certain level, and then also started this ONI LIFE YouTube channel, so 2024, and then I kind of realized like in order for me to have a little bit more stability and I guess future with my partner, I'd need to get like a sort of full-time sort of income, and sort of started working in retail. So I've been in that for a year, and it sort of allowed me to sort of save a bit more money and I guess have a half decent place to live in. So yeah, this place is a lot more spacious than when I was filming the old ONI LIFE videos. It's probably about 3 times the size, so you know I've actually got a bit of breathing room, which is nice. But I feel like it's probably the right time for me to get back on track with my sort of real sort of purpose and passion. Yeah, which is sort of self-improvement. Okay, so that pretty much sums up my life. I feel like I've taken some risks, but I've got to take bigger and sort of just grind it out. Just kind of stick with the process for several years, because I mean, the way that the modern world's going at the moment, you know, even with a full-time job, you really can't really buy a house, even here in Japan, well, especially in this Tokyo or like the big cities. And yeah, you just gotta try to, instead of beat the system, grind your way through the system at someone else's company. You just gotta create your own sort of system. And yeah, this is sort of what ONI Life is going to be about, just sort of us creating a system together where we can support each other and just sort of see it sort of hopefully tornado up and sort of help others at the same time as it helping ourselves. Okay. Yeah, seems like the first live session, it's just sort of a debrief of what's been going on. Yeah, there aren't really any chat comments or anything, so I think I'll probably leave it here today. I mean, it's been a whole year. What do I expect? No one's gonna come to a sort of deserted sort of live session. All I have is a little blank wall. There's not really much excitement right now. But yeah, to anyone that does hear this and have watched it to this point, thank you very much. I'll make sure to be even better in future live sessions. Just myself, but kind of a bit sharper and sort of more sort of hitting the points I want to hit. Yeah, well, so I guess therapeutic for me to just be able to talk like this out loud for about 27 minutes now without sort of any judgment. So yeah, thank you for that. Maybe there might be one or two judgmental comments in the chat in the future. So if that's the case, bring it on over. All right. Until then, okay, all the best. Peace out. And yeah, have a great day, guys. All right, see ya. First time now to figure out how to end it. Just this button.